Oh yeah, hopefully the audio works today. Well, I hear some of you guys just aren't fans of kitchen islands, especially those that have seating. Yet it seems like many of the new built houses or condos or apartments coming up today are built around that concept of open style living with a kitchen island. So before we go on, let me know some of your thoughts about the not so humble kitchen island down below, and then I'm going to share some of mine with you. Welcome back to Homestead Studios, everyone, and today I want to dive into the pros and cons of kitchen islands. Now today's video should be on the shorter end of things because myself and Mark Tobin are headed live over on his channel to discuss kitchen designs and two in particular that we drew up. So don't miss it, definitely check it out, I'll leave a link down below. Alrighty, no more messing about. I'm going to treat today's video like those Venn diagrams we drew back in elementary school or grade school, whatever you call it, where you're watching. And that is pros over on one side, cons over on the other, and then a list of crossover points right up the middle. We might as well kick things off with the most obvious pro, and that is countertop space. It's no secret that islands can add a significant amount of extra countertop space to any kitchen. This is fantastic for those homes that have multiple people that like to cook, or simply those of us that just like to spread out when we're working. All of this extra countertop space comes with the added bonus of more storage underneath. Even if you have a movable style island such as a kitchen cart or a butcher block table, it probably still has some sort of shelving below. Now this storage extends even further if we have standard cabinetry making up the bulk of our kitchen island. Deep drawers, appliance cabinets, maybe even the microwave installed in those base cabinets below the kitchen island, all free up space in the exterior cabinetry of our kitchens. This might even let you reduce some of the wall cabinetry you have into your design, giving you a little bit more of an open and airy feel, if that's what you're after. Now, regardless of how you feel about kitchen islands, we all like more storage in our kitchens. I alluded to this next one a little earlier on when I discussed islands with seating, and that is going under the pro category because islands often allow us to dedicate a place to seating in our kitchens. Now, it doesn't seem to matter whether our kitchen is set up for communal gathering with friends or family, we all seem to wind up there anyways. One of the great benefits to having seating at your kitchen island is it allows you to keep this crowd constrained or contained to a particular area of your kitchen, often getting them out of the cook's hair. Sitting around a kitchen island can be a great place to catch up with friends or grab a coffee in the morning and read the paper. It can even be a great place to sit down with a glass of wine at the end of the day and just unwind as you hang out with your partner while they prep a meal. And the final pro of today's video is islands can help define the kitchen space. Now this is more targeted towards those open concept style livings where the kitchen is often just one part of a larger room. In these open concept homes, kitchens without an island often feel lost or tucked away in the back corner without really any true idea of where the kitchen ends. However, by adding an island to these spaces, we give a visual endpoint, a hard endpoint to the space that says, this is where our kitchen ends. So in essence, in these open concept style homes, a kitchen island can provide a focal point, an aspect of the kitchen that can help draw you in and really ground the overall space. So before we dive into the downside of kitchen islands, let's take a minute and discuss those crossover points. Those points that can really go either way depending on how you look at them. And the first one up here is islands provide another place for appliances or your kitchen sink. I mean, it seems great, doesn't it? Like what could go wrong or what could be the downside to that? Islands can give you the illusion that moving the cooktop or sink is a really easy option. However, both of these require some serious mechanical changes in your house, moving plumbing or gas, and all of these come with some serious cash. I mean, tradespeople don't work for free after all. Another common point here is that islands can close the gap between work surfaces. And although this is true, there are definitely a few things to consider before shoving one into your space. So many people have kitchens that are right on the cusp of being too small for a kitchen island, but just seem too large to not include one. What I like to call the extra medium kitchen. In these spaces, it can be really tempting to shove a kitchen island in there and close up some of that gap. However, we'll discuss shortly why this might not be the best option and how that can open up a whole other host of problems. The final point under our crossover heading is cost. And this largely comes down to how you design and plan your kitchen island. It can be extremely effective to create a large prep area in your kitchen, just a standard countertop with base cabinetry underneath, no plumbing or appliances. The extra cost for the kitchen island in this case is probably a very good use of your budget in the overall renovation. However, if you go moving mechanicals, moving appliances, introducing plumbing, those dollars might not stretch quite as far as you think, and that same benefit or cost benefit you got from a basic island may no longer apply. Alrighty, time to discuss those downsides, those things we like to push off in the corner and just forget they exist. Well, not today. Gosh darn it, we're going to talk about them. As I said last week, if an island is inserted into your layout and it starts disrupting workflow or circulation about your kitchen, it's probably not the most practical solution to place in your design. You never want to feel like a hamster on its wheel running round and round and round your kitchen every time you need to get in there and work. Next up, we have size, and the particular urge we often have to just go too big. Once you start planning your kitchen layout, it's really easy to get sucked up into the vortex of trying to squeeze out every extra square inch of countertop space and storage we physically can. However, this often leads to our islands just being too big and no longer functional or practical for our kitchens. So for this, I always suggest referring back to circulation, and as soon as you start impacting or impeding circulation and workflow, cut it back. And lastly, for all of the function that kitchen islands can bring to our spaces, fixed islands are immovable and have limited flexibility. So all of this function and structure we're adding into our kitchen comes at one large cost, and that's a big lump in the middle of our floor, if you want to call it that. When not planned appropriately, islands can become very visually heavy and distracting, often taking away from the rest of our design. In these instances, they're typically impeding functionality and workflow in our space as well, often just costing you more time when working and more money during the actual renovation process. So when you sit down to plan your kitchen space, and if you're looking at adding an island, make sure it's going to help and not hurt the space. Well, that's it for me today. Thanks a ton for watching. If you enjoyed content like this and want to see more of it, head down below and click that subscribe button. And while you're down there, click that link, head on over and check out Mark and I going live on his channel as we discuss some kitchen designs we made on the same basic layout.